The region of Windsor and Essex is dealing with a major epidemic. The region has posted the highest unemployment rate of any major municipality in Canada. According to CBC News and Statistics Canada, Windsor and Essex County is bucking the trend for pandemic recovery, posting the highest unemployment rate of any major city in September across the country. The unemployment rate for the Census Metropolitan Area of Windsor and some of Essex County stands at 10.4%, according to Statistics Canada estimates, which were released earlier this month. Therefore, it begs the question, what's the key to an economic bounce back and recovery for the Rose City of Windsor and Essex County? Rakesh Naidu is the president of the Windsor and Essex Regional Chamber of Commerce, and he joined me this week to discuss Windsor's economic climate, the keys to its recovery, and how current conditions are affecting individuals with disabilities during their pursuit of employment. As we continue to mark National Disability Employment Awareness Month, I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. We began our conversation by Naidu reflecting on the importance of observing National Disability Employment Awareness Month and the significance it has for the region. Naidu also took some time to highlight the Discoverability Network, an initiative the Chamber supports in partnership with the Ontario Chamber of Commerce as the province's new online job matching portal for individuals with disabilities and employers to get connected.
Yeah, very important topic, and the National Disability Employment Awareness Month is something which this campaign has been started some time back. But I'm glad that this is continuing. I'm glad that it is catching so much attention, and this time especially, with the Light It Up event, which is part of this. I believe it's on October the 21st. When that event will be, where there'll be a great deal of participation throughout Canada, I believe. So that is going to be good, because it truly is something where we need to do more. We need to really shine light on the opportunities that exist for employers, to engage with people who have disabilities, and I would like to call them people with special abilities, people who have different abilities, because it is a fact that many of those that whom we call disabled actually have some abilities which we may not find in the other demography, or they may have strengths that can be of significant benefit to businesses, and it's a known fact that when you have employees who have certain disabilities, or special abilities, there are significant benefits for employees, for employers, and it's a matter of just understanding that. It's a matter of becoming aware of that, and to really, for businesses, it is an opportunity that is not taken up. It's a business comparative element which is not fully understood, and not fully appreciated, and not fully acknowledged. So I think this day, this month is about that, is about really creating awareness of what is it that that organizations and employers can benefit just by having inclusivity, and just by making sure that when we do recruitment and when we do hiring, we are conscious about the benefits of disability inclusion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that one of the chamber's signature initiative to this end is the Discoverability Network, something that we've worked on extensively together. So I'm wondering your thoughts on the importance of the initiative and the benefits that the network offers to both employees and employers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the Discoverability program is in partnership, as you know, with OCC. And this is where businesses can benefit from hiring people who have certain disabilities. This is a fantastic program. There is ways in which businesses can get the information. There is a network of organizations that are providing support or are interested in hiring, and there is a pool of talent which is available for businesses to hire from, and there is financial incentive that is there for businesses that will be hiring from this pool of specially abled talent. So this program, the Chamber is very excited to be part of. We are very delighted that we are part of such a wonderful initiative, because the reality is that a lot of businesses are struggling to find people. We know that there is a significant number of businesses that have looked for talent and are not finding it. Just in the first quarter of this year, almost over 500,000 jobs have been left unfilled. So at a time when number one issue, as we're hearing from businesses, is that we can find people, we can find talent, we can find the skill sets that we need. This ability that we have to tap into this talent pool of specially abled people, I think can provide solution for a lot of businesses, and it makes for complete economic sense. It's made for complete business sense. There are studies after studies that have identified the advantage that businesses have, that employers have when they hire people with certain disabilities, and that advantage is when it translates into better bottom line, higher profit margin, better retention rate. People, who have certain disabilities are, in most of the time, have safe work practices. They are more loyal. There are many, many different, studies that have been done, which clearly identifies the benefit or the advantage that businesses and employers have of hiring people with certain disabilities.
And Rakesh, absolutely. And living and working here in Windsor-Essex County, I don't need to tell you that the business culture here is diverse and well-rounded, but Windsor also has one of the highest unemployment rates in the country. So I'm curious, as the leader and the voice of business here in Windsor-Essex County, how would you diagnose or look at the current business culture and forecast here in Windsor-Essex County?
Yeah, unfortunately, we have a very high unemployment rate. It's unfortunately also the highest in Canada. And that is really perplexing in a way, because when you talk to our employees in the region, they are screaming for help. They want people, they want to hire people. Even if you look at small and medium-sized businesses, go to restaurants, you go to small businesses, they all are looking for talent. And at the same time, we have such high unemployment rate. It's a combination of factors here. We've seen that with COVID, there have been some employee support program that has been put in place, and rightfully so, because it was needed. Some of those programs still continue, and I think one of the program ends toward the end of this month. Through those programs, employees had the benefit of staying home and being safe, and not necessarily having to work. And that has created this vacuum where people are not really too keen to to go back to work. Then there are some that have found that it may be not the best time for them to go back to work because they're concerned about their health, or they're concerned about the health of their near and dear ones, or they may be attending to someone that is sick, or they themselves might unfortunately be going through some health issues, and maybe going through COVID related some challenges. So there's health related challenges. Then there's also unemployment due to our core industry, which is manufacturing, having to have dealt with the challenges of chip shortage, which has idled a lot of large plants, including our assembly plant here, the Stellantis assembly plant, and the feeder plants in the supply chain that rely on it. So a lot of workers have been idled, and they've been out of job because of these work stoppages in these assembly shops in the supply chain. So that has also added to the large number of people that have been unemployed. But I just want to reflect back on the opportunity here as well, that though there is a high number of unemployment, there's still, as I mentioned, there's a huge number of companies that are looking for people, and this is where I think if these businesses were to really think of hiring people from the pool of those that are specially able or disabled, I think there can be a win-win situation here. We know that over 600,000 people in Canada have some kind of a disability, and we know that roughly only about 50-60% of these are employed. So there is still a large pool of people with certain abilities that can be hired, and that can help in resolving some of the challenges that a lot of businesses are highlighting, which is the inability to find talent. So I think that is something that can be looked into. We also need to look into what is happening amongst our youth. Youth unemployment is quite high. It's always been high, but it's quite high in the COVID times. And there's roughly about almost 90,000 youth that have some kind of disability that are also not employed. And this is another opportunity where employers that are looking to hire younger demography, they can find some great talent in this pool of youth that have certain disability. So I think though there is unemployment, though there is unfortunately very high unemployment rate in Windsor-Essex, we can solve some of the challenges that business have of not finding the right talent by connecting those that have certain disabilities to the employers that are looking for great talent and for great workers.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rakesh, tell me, what role do you think the government, whether it be local, municipal, or federal, has in trying to jumpstart the economy and the workforce again?
Yeah, I think some of it is already in the works. I think one of the key thing is to provide the private sector, the businesses, the environment to carry out business. And that comes by slowly and safely removing the restrictions that are in place. We all know that, we are in stage 3. We have started now taking off some of the health related or the restrictions that have been imposed because of health concerns. So businesses can slowly get back on their feet if they're given the opportunity to carry out businesses in a normal environment, in an environment where there are no restrictions. For us, the restrictions were not just what was imposed because of stage 3, because of capacity constraints, and also because of the border restrictions. So we had to deal with 2 major restrictions in our local community. And as we take away these restrictions, and as I mentioned, we have some good news. The border restrictions are being eased. We also are seeing increase in capacity in some of the businesses, and as we take away more of these restrictions and take us back to a time when the restrictions aren't there, I think that will give the business an opportunity to really compete and to really carry out business as usual. And that's one of the biggest things that we need to do. We just, there have been support programs. There have been things like, the SEBA, the wage subsidy, the rent relief, and all of that was important, is still important, I would argue, because the businesses are not completely back on their feet. The restrictions are still there. So some of these programs need to continue till the businesses have got, the opportunity to, to really carry out business in a unrestricted manner. And then slowly we should ease off some of these programs. But more importantly, we need to really find a safe way, and a, a, a safe and a very efficient way of taking the restrictions out, and not really spending too much time, because it is, many businesses are continuing to still suffer. It's been a long 19, 20 months of restrictions, and every day matters, every day counts. So the sooner we are able to ease off the restrictions, the sooner we are able to, get these businesses to be on their feet. We will see employment levels go up. We'll see, businesses will soon be able to get into the black. A lot of businesses are still under huge level of debt. Almost over 200,000 is the average debt that a small business carries these days. So hopefully, in the next few weeks, we will see more businesses given the opportunity to just open up and conduct business in a normal way.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rakesh, I'm also curious to ask you about how do you think folks with disabilities that want to work can become more visible to businesses within this region?
I think, it is important to really, work with the various agencies, ecosystem partners that we have here, and highlight the benefit of really hiring someone that has disabilities. So, those that have those disabilities or special abilities need to really be connected with organizations such as the Chamber of Commerce, because as you mentioned, we have the discoverability program, so that is something which we can really help connect the job seekers, to the employers. And to really raise, awareness about how it can be very useful. At the end of the day, a business is a business, and they look at the bottom line, they look at profitability, they look at how they can benefit. And if there's a way in which we can showcase to them that, look, it makes for business sense for you to hire. And I'll just share a few things here. So almost 78%, 80% of the businesses, this is a Deloitte study, so they believe that if there is diversity and inclusion as part of their hiring practices, they will have a distinct competitive advantage. Businesses who have inclusive culture are 8 times more likely to achieve better business outcomes. Then there is, an Accenture study that that has stated that most of the businesses that have inclusive hiring, I should say 30%, have higher profit margins, and they have twice more net income than the businesses that don't have inclusive hiring practices. Workers who have some disability are 5 times more likely to stay on a job than people who don't, and at a time when employee retention or even hiring, recruiting is such a big issue. I mean, this is a major advantage. 97% of workers who have some disability, they have either average or above average, safety track record on the job. So there are many different ways in which businesses can actually see the benefit, and where it makes business sense, to hire someone with disability. So this is something that needs to be highlighted by organizations such as the Chamber and the others that are really trying to promote inclusivity, and those that have some disabilities need to align themselves with organizations like this, and to be there working with the opportunities as it comes in the network, to highlight the benefit. So some of what you're doing in terms of highlighting the benefit, the events that you're participating in, the networking that you do, I think those are some of the things that needs to be done more. And you are a great example of how someone with special abilities can actually find opportunities within a network, within a region, and really, be out there and to showcase that there is distinct advantages of hiring someone like you.
Well, I appreciate the compliment. And Rakesh, as you know, we've attended several networking events together. And I'm curious as things begin to open up. I'm wondering your thoughts on the importance of networking and the value of human connection in business.
Absolutely. You can't replace that. And I know all of us are yearning and looking forward to the time when we can, meet in person, shake hands and sit, and have a coffee and just connect on multiple of topics, including business. And we're looking forward to that day as well. We just had, after a long time, we had a first in-person event when we launched the Support Local program on Wednesday. And that felt different. It felt good, to see a lot of people that we engage with in a region, a lot of key stakeholders that we could accommodate in that room in a safe manner. We were able to to just meet in person and shake hands, and it was good to to finally connect in person. We would like to do more of that, and that's what we are really looking forward to. And hopefully, as we get into the next few weeks when we'll have the vaccine passport system launch. I believe there is the premier was going to make an announcement this morning, and unfortunately I couldn't really listen in, but hopefully there's some good news this morning. But the vaccine passport system is likely going to help in easing restrictions, which will then help organizations like the chamber that thrive on putting the networking events together to move forward and offer the networking events in a safe manner. So we're looking forward to that, and we're hoping that will happen soon. And we'd love to have you attend one of those networking events soon.
Yeah, well, I always love engaging in conversation, that about me, Rakesh. So I eagerly accept that invitation for sure. But I'm also curious to ask you about the state of small business and the importance of supporting small businesses across the region as an effort to eradicate unemployment.
Huge. And that's the reason why we launched the Support Local program on Wednesday. So the Support Local program is just not focused on small business, and it's not focused on any sector. It's very sector agnostic. It's size agnostic as well. But we all know that majority of a business in a region are comprised of small and medium-sized businesses, right? Almost 97% of the business and the employment comes through small and medium-sized business. So it makes for complete economic sense for us to to support the small and medium-sized business. And they're a huge contributor to the economy. And we all know that if we support a small business, and if we were to, let's say, buy $1 worth of thing within or with a small business, almost 3 times more is invested right back into our economy, into the local economy. So it makes for economic sense. It makes for social sense, because a lot of our friends and neighbors, family work for the businesses that are here. That are local, and it makes for environmental sense, because the product that we have here, the services that we are getting from businesses here, the produce, fresh produce from local businesses, that it makes environmental sense for us to source from there, rather than buying it from some online store that may be shipping it from halfway across the world, and it takes so much of an environmental footprint to get the product here. For multiple reasons, it makes sense for us to support local businesses here, the small and medium-sized businesses. And as I said, they're the largest employment creator. That's the reason why the chamber is putting a lot of focus in supporting small and medium-sized businesses.
Yeah, and just before we wrap this up, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you if there's anything else you wanted to share about the Shop Local and Support Local initiative that you launched on Wednesday that you haven't already shared.
Yeah, what I would like to share here is that this campaign, it's a grassroots campaign to really get behind our businesses, to get the community galvanized behind something which is extremely important. We all know about the challenges that COVID has come up with, and how the businesses have long suffered. It's been a very agonizing last 18, 20 months. and it's not yet over. So our businesses need our help. We need to become more conscious in terms of how we are, what choices we are making when we are buying things. Are we conscious? Are we really, making the right decision when we are, opening up our wallet and making that purchase? So if we become a little bit more conscious of supporting a local business, and you know what, even if 20% of our residents, 20% of our population becomes aware, and takes on the initiative of supporting local, it will turn around our economy. It will provide the stimulus, the support that the small businesses need. It can be of tremendous value. So what we want to do is to highlight the importance of becoming conscious about buying locally, about supporting local businesses. So we have the shop YQG, which is encouraging people, to shop locally. We have the dine YQG, which is encouraging people, to go and patronize your restaurants. They still have a significant challenge. And then we have, the ship YQG, which is to really encourage people to buy something local over the holiday season, or before or after, and then to take that and ship it to your loved near and dear ones anywhere in the world, and work with the chamber. The chamber members have a 50% discount in shipping. That is through a partnership with the UPS. So take advantage of that. So great opportunity to work with the chamber, become chamber members, support local, and find great opportunities and discounts and shipping, discounts that you can leverage. So over this holiday season, let's make this count. Let's get behind our businesses, and let's give them the opportunity to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. And my final question for you, Rakesh, is how do you envision a fully inclusive workforce for folks with disabilities, and how can we really achieve inclusivity for everyone?
The day when you and I don't need to talk about it is the day when I think this will be a success, right? When we don't necessarily need to put so much thought and attention and raise awareness. I think once we reach that time, or when we reach that era where it becomes second nature for businesses and for employers, to hire people who have certain disabilities, that would be a sign of success. That is when I think we would have really achieved inclusivity. And I think it is incumbent on every employer to really, pledge themselves to do that, to really understand that it makes economic sense, it makes business sense to do it, but also you're providing an opportunity to someone that could be very deserving, but for certain challenges that they may have, they may not have that opportunity. But if we really, take or stretch ourselves a little bit and look into the attributes and the skill sets that some of the people with certain disabilities have, we may find that we may have really an employee that has some amazing abilities and special abilities that we may not find elsewhere. So I think it's really something that we all need to be more conscious about. We need to become more aware of the opportunities and the benefits of inclusivity.
Absolutely. And Rakesh, tell me, finally, if people want to get connected with the chamber, what's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, and they can visit our website. It's windsor-essexchamber.org, or they can send an email at info@windsor-essexchamber.org, and they can connect with us. We have wonderful employees, we have wonderful colleagues I work with, and we are always interested in connecting, always interested in hearing from people, always interested in sharing what we're doing in our local region. So we look forward to connecting with people.
Absolutely. Rakesh, I value our friendship and our mutual vision of inclusion within the Windsor-Essex region. And I want to thank you for the work that you do and for joining me this afternoon. It's most appreciated.
Thanks, Kevin. You take care. All the best.